I'm really trying to learn how to have a conversation. I'm really trying to learn how to be patient, identify pain points, and not go for the kill so quickly. So that has been a big change, because I didn't have that patience before. I was doing solo ads, and if I used Facebook, I would go right to the pitching my other company, for example. So I was one of those pitch, but I didn't know better at the time. So now I'm a lot more patient. I'm a lot more understanding. I try to ask them to tell me their story first. That's my first question. What's your story? I try to find something in common, and I go from there. But it really helps just listening and starting by never telling my story first. I always ask them to tell theirs.
Yeah, that's a great point. Listening skills are critically important, aren't they?
Yeah, and I'm realizing it more so in the last few weeks. But people want to tell their story. That is for sure. People want you to listen. They want you to understand their pain. And if you take the time to understand, and as I mentioned this morning, I take notes on, or yesterday maybe, I take notes on every single person that I talk to. So the next time it comes up, because you're talking to so many people, you may forget. And when you remember that somebody had cancer or somebody has this or that, I think that adds another level of trust, right?
Yeah. And you because we're talking Facebook as your primary program now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Your primary platform, rather.
Yeah. So what I do is I start the conversation on Facebook, but I'm really trying to push them to have a Skype call as a conversation, or a Facebook call.
Yep.
And the other thing that I'm doing that's probably different, so with my team, I don't have a huge team yet, but the people that signed up under me, I hold a webinar that I created on Thursday at 9 o'clock. And it's there. People can invite people to that webinar. That's all you got to do. If you're talking to people, just send them to the webinar. And if I'm meeting somebody and they have time, I go straight into the webinar and say, if they're interested in, or if they're open, I use that word a lot. Are you open to looking at another opportunity? If you phrase it like that, a lot of people, well, I'm open. I'll listen. And then I go through attraction marketing. I go through get paid today. After 7 months of frustration, this is what I'm doing now, and I'm making money. So if you're interested, we can keep talking. And I know that it's just to work for me, at least in the beginning here.
Yeah, that's great, and that's an example of doing something extra. In fact, a webinar that I ran about a week ago, I talked about that. What is the extra thing that you can do? So one of the extra things you're doing is you're running a webinar. Most people don't do that. So you're doing something over and above what marketers are tending to do. And so doing something extra, it's really worked for you, hasn't it? Because you've had several sign-ups from attendees, people who've attended your webinar.
Oh, I think webinars are amazing for trust and getting to actually talk to a live person. They get their questions addressed right on the call, and it's amazing. And that's why I've added that piece telling people, if you're not comfortable doing webinars, just send them to mine, because ultimately you'll get the sale. But yeah. Send them to mine, and I'll go through it with them.
Yeah. Now, I just want to refer back to a point that you made a couple of minutes ago, and it was about patience. Patience. You said that the old you was perhaps somewhat more impatient, so that when you were talking to people, you got straight to the point, throw them a link and start pitching and all of that stuff, and that's different to the way you are now. You're more like a farmer than a hunter, aren't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in having a personal conversation.
Yeah.
I was anxious to I'm only here to talk to you for one reason, and now looking back at it, it's really silly, but now I'm very patient. If it takes me 3 weeks to bring somebody, I don't care, right? I'll just keep talking to them, and when that door opens, then I go and enter the door. But I don't force that door open. I don't try to, I try to direct the conversation a little bit. I'm just very patient with, and even following up. So people don't say anything, they don't have much interest in the beginning. You wait a few days, you ask again, or you talk about something else. And I actually got 2 sign-ups like that, where I just kept following up.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't leave them alone. I didn't accept just, I'm not interested right now. I didn't accept that right away. To kind of keep going, keep talking,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, that's awesome. And so with just thinking once again about the newbie, the new person that may be watching this, or perhaps they've been involved in the industry for a while, but they're just not getting the success that they want. What advice would you give a newbie or someone who is really struggling? What would you say to them?